male rat and surgically remove the gonads. Okay? And when that male rat becomes an adult, and you touch it, it doesn't show that lordosis response, the characteristic acting of the rat.
You can imagine that.
Okay?
My body is ready.
That is if you take out the gonads, but the
I know.
male is an adult. It says there is a male rat that got to adulthood, then you castrate it. And doesn't show lordosis. And it was still, when presented with an observed when you try to get it. Okay? If you take the same, different one obviously, and remove the testes at an early stage when the rat is still very, very young. Then that rat, when you touch it after giving estrogen or whatever, will show the female response. And if you present that rat with a receptive female, it will ignore it. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the presence of is very important during the process of development. Once development has happened, you can remove the testes and the animal is still going to behave like a male. But if you take out the testes early stage, before development, the animal behaves like a male. So something happens to the brain in the interim and causes that difference. If you take that same animal, take out the testes, not the same animal of the same age, remove the testes at the early stage, allow the animal to develop, but in that time you treat the animal with injected testosterone to make up for the missing testes, then the animal behaves like a male. So testosterone produced by the testes is doing something to that animal's brain to make it. Now, one of the things that you have to remember is that that kind of thing doesn't just happen when somebody surgically removes testes. Because again, and I come back to you again, genes don't operate in a simple way that if you have the gene, you're going to have the character. It doesn't work like that. You may have testes, you may have the testosterone, but remember that in order for testosterone to influence the brain cells, you've got to have brain cells with testosterone receptors. And the testosterone has to get into the brain, operate on those receptors, and make the brain cells do different things. If for some reason you have the testosterone, but you don't have the testosterone receptors, or they're not working properly, you could be a male, you could have gonads, you could have testosterone, but you could end up behaving like a female.
Hilarious.
No, I'm saying that could be a legit explanation.
No.
There's a thing called wafer doce. Wafer doce actually means exact 12.
Huh?
The eggs December 12. Okay? In other words, you have this problem where the receptors for a hormone known as dihydrotestosterone. See, it is not testosterone that causes the development of a penis instead of a clitoris. It is a derivative of testosterone called dihydrotestosterone. And to convert the testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, you need an enzyme called alpha reductase. Now, there are some males in a country not far from here
weird to have somebody just dangling.
who have a genetic defect, very isolated community, have a genetic defect in which the 5-alpha reductase enzyme doesn't work properly. Now here's how this thing can get complicated
I
and
was okay for a
tricky.
day.
The brain development depends upon testosterone. Right?
Some girl.
Development
Have fun.
of the penis and scrotum and all that depends upon
Yeah, but I
dehydrotestosterone.
wouldn't have to worry
The
about
5-alpha reductase is not working. Your brain is developing like a male, but your equipment is developing like a female.
One time off
You look like a female. You may be a tomboy and kind of behave like a
Maybe
male,
one time won't kill me.
but everybody
talking
raises
about?
them sees you as a female. But when you get to 12,
Alright.
puberty, and the testes start getting into overdrive and becoming overactive. You get a lot of testosterone, and that overrides the low alpha reductase level. And the penis starts developing. And your balls descend. And the child that has been raised up until the age of 12 as a girl, sometimes it's a boy. That's why I have a name for it, they call it Otoshe. Eggs at 12, your eggs come down at 12. Your balls descend at 12.
Oh no. It's all in there. Before are you serious? They were just pop out one night. They have the vagina thing. Like seriously? You just wake up one day and what is this? What if they just wake up one day and you're like, what is going on?
I'll show you some of the noise in one day.
Okay, it's for us to just wake up and come and
He literally said it though.
Males, their XY chromosome.
Just put me
What?
Are you serious?
The enzyme that is progressive that's not functioning properly. It's an enzyme that's produced, that's called 5-alpha reductase, that's produced by a separate gene from the testosterone gene. The gene that produces testosterone is working fine, so you have lots of testosterone. Testosterone accumulates in the brain and allows your brain to develop according to male patterning. 5-alpha reductase, which is supposed